Greetings, fellow time travelers. Welcome to our video on the physics of time. Time, the ultimate enigma, the cosmic puzzle, the one thing we all seem to want more of. Unless, of course, you're stuck in a meeting with a boring colleague. You know the type, the one who drones on, and before you know it, you're checking your watch every 5 minutes, willing the hands to move faster. So let's dive into the exciting world of time physics. Time is a mysterious thing, and we've been trying to understand it for centuries. From sundials to atomic clocks, we've come a long way in our understanding of time. And the best part is, there's still so much more to discover. So sit back, relax, and let's take a journey together through the fascinating world of time. Who knows, maybe we'll even discover a way to make time go by faster during boring meetings. One can only hope. Step into the unknown, where the mysteries of time unfold. I am the timekeeper, and this is 2D time. But before we dive into the mind-bending world of time dilation and wormholes, let's take a trip down memory lane. The earliest known way of measuring time was through the use of sundials. The position of the sun in the sky would cast a shadow on the dial, which could be used to tell the time of day. But, as with all things, there are some limitations. What do you do when it's nighttime? Or cloudy? Or you're underground? Well, you better hope you have a backup plan or a flashlight. The hourglass. One of the oldest ways of measuring time. It's a simple yet elegant device that uses the flow of sand through a narrow opening to create a measurable passage of time. I can almost hear your mind spinning with questions. What if the sand gets stuck? Or the glass breaks? Or you're on a spaceship and there's no gravity? Well, these are all valid concerns. But let's not forget the beauty of the hourglass. It's a reminder of how humans have been measuring time for centuries. It's a symbol of our quest to understand and keep track of time. And let's be real, even with all the fancy technology we have today, there's still something satisfying about watching the sand flow through the hourglass. It's a small reminder to slow down, take a breath, and appreciate the present moment. The invention of the pendulum clock in the 17th century marked a major breakthrough in timekeeping. The consistent swinging of the pendulum made it possible to create highly accurate timepieces. This method of timekeeping was accurate, but it was also dependent on a stable environment. I know what you're thinking. Of course, the pendulum can get knocked out of place, or the clock stops, which is why it is good to have a pendulum repair kit handy. In the 20th century, the quartz clock was invented. These clocks use the vibrations of a quartz crystal to keep time, making them even more accurate than pendulum clocks. It was the work of scientists like Albert Einstein that fundamentally changed our understanding of time. Einstein's theory of relativity showed that time is not absolute, but is relative to the observer. Now, what if Einstein was wrong? Well, we don't have a time machine to go back and ask Einstein himself, but what we can use good scientific method to prove him wrong. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. According to the theory of general relativity, the closer you are to a massive object like a black hole, the slower time will appear to move. This is known as time dilation. Time dilation is a consequence of the warping of space-time caused by the presence of massive objects. The only way to avoid the black hole is to have a spaceship with a faster-than-light drive. This means that if you were to have two identical clocks, one on Earth and one in space, the clock in space would appear to be ticking slower than the clock on Earth. The difference in time between these two clocks could be measurable and significant over long periods of time. In 1971, scientists conducted an experiment called the Heffel-Keating experiment to prove this concept. They flew atomic clocks around the world on commercial airliners and compared them to identical clocks that were left on the ground. The results showed that the clocks that traveled in airplanes lost a tiny fraction of a second compared to the clocks that were left on the ground. It's crazy to think that time can move at different speeds, but science has proven it to be true. It's just one of the many mysteries of the universe that we are still trying to understand. It's fascinating to think about how our perception of time can be affected by our location in the universe. Despite our understanding of time, there are still many questions that scientists are working to answer. For example, some theories suggest that time is an emergent property of the universe, arising from the interactions of subatomic particles. Others propose that time is a fundamental aspect of the universe, existing independently of physical processes. Some theories suggest that time may be a loop or a spiral, rather than a straight line. These theories propose that the universe may exist in a state of eternal recurrence, where time repeats itself in a cyclical pattern. Now, I know what you're thinking. We need a good therapist. What about another wild ride through the world of theories? Let me introduce you to the block universe theory. This theory suggests that the entire history of the universe exists simultaneously, like one big block of time. And get this, it also suggests that our perception of the past, present, and future is just an illusion. Imagine all of time, from the beginning of the universe to the end of it, existing right now, at this very moment. It's like a giant jigsaw puzzle where all the pieces already exist, and we're just moving through it one piece at a time. It's a mind-bending concept that can be hard to grasp, but once you start to think about it, it starts to make sense. It's like that old saying, time flies when you're having fun. But in this theory, time doesn't fly. It's always there, and we're the ones moving through it. It's an interesting perspective that can change how we view the world and our place in it. Theories like this one remind us that there's always more to discover and learn about our universe. Are you ready to have your mind blown? Let me tell you about a theory called presentism. It suggests that the only thing that truly exists is the present moment. That's right. The past and future don't really exist. They're just a figment of our imagination. It's like the universe is one big live stream, and all we can ever experience is the present moment. This theory proposes that the past and future are only mental constructs, and that the only thing that truly exists is the present moment. Imagine, if all we have is the present moment, it would mean that the past is just a memory, and the future is just a dream. It's an interesting concept to think about, but it can be a bit hard to wrap your head around. But that's the beauty of theories. They make us question our perception of the world and open our minds to new possibilities. Have you ever heard of wormholes? They're like secret passageways through the fabric of space-time that could take us from one point in the universe to another in the blink of an eye. And the best part is, some scientists believe that these wormholes could potentially be used for time travel. Can you imagine jumping through a wormhole and ending up in the distant past or future? It's like something straight out of a science fiction movie. But before you start packing your bags for a trip through time, it's important to remember that wormholes are still just a theory at this point, and their existence has not yet been proven. But it's always as exciting to think about the possibilities that science may uncover in the future. The study of time is a fascinating and endlessly intriguing subject, with many theories and ideas that are still being explored and debated. We may never fully understand the true nature of time, but the journey of discovery is half the fun. Thank you for tuning into our channel 2D Time. We hope you enjoyed the video. As you may have noticed, we touched upon a few theories related to time in this video. But don't worry, we'll be diving much deeper in the future. So make sure to keep an eye out for our upcoming videos, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.